Society poisoned by irony, Brittany Bateman triggers a lot of people because she is our national id. She represents our worst impulses and our worst desires, and she humanizes them, and it is very upsetting to a lot of people. I'm mostly joking, but in case you don't know who I'm talking about, this is Brittany Bateman from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. The fans are very divided on her because she has a contingent of like gay guys who love her and some people who love her, but there's also a large contingent of fans who absolutely hate her, like hate her. I think the discussion of Brittany being thirsty is kind of a moot point because they're all thirsty. They're on reality TV. Like, none of these women just accidentally stumbled onto reality television, opening up their lives and family lives to the camera, right? Like, every single one of them has an ulterior motive for being here. So saying Brittany just wants to be famous is kind of ridiculous because, like, obviously they all want to be famous. Heather openly was a fan of the show before the show started. And then when she was finally on Girls Trip, that horrible season of Girls Trip, she was openly fangirling the other housewives like a fan. She didn't even behave like a housewife. People always say that Salt Lake City works because each one of the women is camp and ridiculous in their own way, right? Lisa is a delusional ego monster. Meredith is like blackout half the time. Mary is ... God, question mark. Heather and Bronwyn are both obsessed with the opinions of other people and have this weird lack inside of them, which makes them always want to perform for the approval of other people. And that's why they don't like each other, because they're both like seeing that in the other and are openly disgusted by it. Brittany is interesting because she doesn't hide her neuroses or her psychosis, right? She is very open about the fact, as soon as she got on the show, she was like, I'm in love with this guy who doesn't like me. I'm in love with this guy who doesn't want me. I will continue to date him and I will continue to want to be with him, even though he openly disrespects me at every single opportunity. And I don't care about anything else in my life except having a man. Which, like, on its face is a little bit pathetic, right? Like, if you follow me, you know I'm deeply avoidant, right? And this is literally the complete opposite of the way that I operate. I joke about this, but I'm low-key almost not joking, where I'm like, if you say I want a boyfriend, I think that you are Brittany, right? Like, that is the same to me. But Brittany is open about it, right? Because in American society, it's seen as deeply pathetic to say that you want to be in love, that you want partnership, right? Even when I fight with everyone about situationships or whatever, Brittany is staying in a situationship and she's like 45 years old and she's like, I don't care. I want to have a man in my life more than I respect myself, which is crazy, but like incredibly fascinating to watch because she has no ego around it. There is nothing sort of preventing her from being very open with her like weird dating patterns and this obsession with having a man in her life. I made a video about this last year when she said that she wasn't talking to her kids, allegedly because she was in a DV situation, is the tea on Reddit, but I don't know. And a lot of people just really, really hate Brittany because the Mormon church says that you need a man to get into heaven, right? You can have kids, whatever, but like your kids aren't getting you into heaven, which is incredibly crazy, but everyone just pretends that she didn't say that. That's the craziest thing. Like on Reddit, they are the most sanctimonious people in the world. They're like, we should kill her for not wanting to be a mother. This reminds me of that drama, like 10 years ago, there was a woman who went on Oprah and she said she loved her husband more than she loved her kids. It was like the greatest sin that you could ever commit. Like they wanted to skin that woman on Oprah's stage for admitting that she said that. And like famously, I'm not a woman. I can't criticize anyone for their opinions regarding motherhood. What I do find interesting is that she says, I have all of this religious trauma. I have abandonment trauma because my parents didn't love me or whatever. She has this quote where she says, I'm searching for the love that I was never given. She desperately wants to be loved. And yet people pretend that she didn't say that and are just like, we should stone her. Like, it's so weird to me. This is a woman who's suffering from religious psychosis, who was apparently in some sort of really bad relationship, and her kids stopped talking to her because she was so obsessed with that bad relationship. Like, I don't know. I think she's a victim. The other thing that I'm going to say is that you guys love Miss Carrie Bradshaw. Carrie kept jumping into the worst situations in the world over and over again. And everybody loves Sex and the City. Everybody loves Carrie. Everybody loves Carrie and Big. Everybody's happy that they ended up together. And I'm like, wait, so how do we square these two things, right? Because we're getting a lot of different messages from American society. Do you love Carrie and Big? Do you love situationships? Do you love will they or won't theys? Do you love this idea that love is the most important thing in your life? Because for a lot of you, that's what you're giving. Or is it just seen as like humiliating and pathetic and embarrassing and weird to say, I want a boyfriend? Like, I don't know what the truth is. And obviously, I'm like trolling a little. I'm purposely being messy because I am defending her and I think she is a victim of like religious trauma. But at the same time, it is sort of irritating because whenever I drag you guys for situationships, everybody has an excuse for why they have to be in this relationship with this one person who doesn't love them. Or we all have done this. Like everyone has this in their past if they're not actively doing it. So it's just weird that she gets this intense judgment from the fandom when this is like normal. I don't know. And the last thing I'll say is that her kids do speak to her now. So we can just like leave that alone. That's none of our business, I don't think.